Hey folks, James Abrenio coming to you from Abrenio Cho. We are a Northern Virginia personal injury, medical malpractice, and criminal defense firm in Fairfax, Virginia. We practice throughout Northern Virginia and throughout the state. Wanted to address an issue that keeps coming up with clients as well as potential clients about whether or not they should use their health insurance versus their car insurance when they're involved in a car crash here in Virginia, and they have health insurance. And before we begin, I did just want to make sure I qualify this with this video is for informational purposes only. It's not for legal advice. If you got your own case, you got to get an attorney to talk about the specific facts of your case. I'm just giving out useful information. If you got a potential case, feel free to reach out to me about the claim. But one question that I always come across for one issue is I have folks that will tell me when I ask them if they use their health insurance, either number one, they will say, no, I didn't want to use my health insurance in my car crash case, even though it was the other person's fault because it's their fault. Why should my insurance have to deal with it? Or sometimes I actually have cases where my clients will say, yeah, I have health insurance. I present it to my, the hospital or the inpatient care or the chiropractor or physical therapist. But they said, because this is a car crash, we use your car insurance and not your health insurance, even though they're in network. So my view is if you're involved in a car crash here in Virginia and you're seeing an in-network provider, you should always use your health insurance to get your care for your car crash case. Couple reasons. Number one, in order to settle a car crash case, you usually settle it all at once at the end of the case. You get one check. And so what that means is, and a lot of times these cases take months, and for complicated cases take years to settle. That means that you're not getting money until the end of the case usually. And during that time, your doctors want to get paid. And if you're not paying it and they're not getting their money from the health insurance and they're obviously not getting it from the car insurance, they may end up sending your bills to collection. So you end up hurting your claim or your credit because all your bills go to collection. Secondly, if you are in network and you're using your health insurance, it allows your access to care because doctors and hospitals want to get paid. So if you're using your health insurance, you get that access to care. But third, and just as important, and you should really keep this in mind, when you use your health insurance, you get the benefit of the health insurance negotiated rate. And what do I mean by that? If you've noticed when you go to a doctor using a health insurance, whether it's for a car crash or where it's for treatment in general, if that provider is in network, what will typically happen is, let's say the bill is $100, and then you'll look at the bill and the explanation of benefits. You'll notice for that $100 bill, the health insurance only paid $40, and maybe you have a $50 copay, or not a $50 copay, maybe you have a $5 copay. So you have this $100 bill, you pay $5 copay, and then the insurance only pays $40. So when you then go and you make your personal injury case claim against the car insurance, let's say you either go to trial or you're trying to settle it with Geico or Allstate, under Virginia law, you are entitled to the retail price of the bill. So under this example, you're entitled to that $100 bill, plus pain, plus suffering, plus lost wages, plus inconvenience. So that retail price of the bill sets that foundation for your personal injury claim in that car crash. Now, in some instances, you may end up having to reimburse your health insurance company if you're successful in the case. And whether or not you're required to reimburse is a totally different issue for a totally different video, and it deals with what type of plan you have. But if you have to reimburse, you only have to reimburse at $40. You only have to reimburse what the insurance company paid out. So if you just went through your car insurance company in this example, you would be paying your car insurance. If you're just using your car insurance to pay the doctor, you would essentially be paying that $100 bill to the doctor from your car insurance when you make that claim. But if you use your health insurance, the health insurance has already paid that $40 in this example. The provider is now out of it. And then if you have to reimburse your health insurance, it's only for that $40. So now you've gotten the $100 plus pain, suffering, inconvenience, and you'd rather reimburse health insurance at $40 rather than have to pay your doctor a $100 bill. Okay. So from the mass perspective, it actually makes sense. You're going to get more money in your pocket. With that being said, that also highlights why a lot of providers would prefer to get money from a car crash case rather than from your insurance. Because if your insurance only reimburses them at, let's say, $40 for that $100 bill, they'd rather have the $100. I mean, it makes sense. So they have a financial incentive to get the money from your car insurance case rather than your health insurance. But Virginia law, again, requires for in-network providers that they bill your health insurance. And I've seen, unfortunately, in some scenarios where, like, I've had clients that are in inpatient rehab, and the rehab will say, give us your car insurance information, despite them trying to give the health insurance card. And they'll say, no, we want your car insurance, because they want more money. And look, that's just against Virginia law, but also it hurts your case later on when we're trying to maximize your recovery. So that's another reason why you want to make sure that you use your health insurance rather than waiting. The last reason, and I want to be clear about this, hopefully you're going to get compensated in your case. Okay. Hopefully you're going to be successful in your personal injury case, but it's not always guaranteed. There's never a guarantee that you're going to see $1 in your car insurance case. You can get a better sense of, especially when it comes to like rear end car accident cases where liability is clear. Hopefully you get successful, but even then, maybe the jury doesn't believe that your accident caused your injuries. So there's no guarantee that you actually get paid in the car crash case. And if you don't get paid and your doctors are waiting for you to get paid and they don't end up getting paid from the car case, they're still going to have that debt against you. So that still hurts you. And so you'd rather the doctors be paid and out of it. You'd rather be reimbursing your health insurance at a lower rate, even if you have to reimburse them. And then later on, you can pursue your personal injury case. And that way you're in a best position to maximize the recovery in your pocket. So hopefully this made sense for you. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. Again, we do a lot of car accident crash cases here in Northern Virginia. If the injuries are significant enough, we go throughout the state. And so we can certainly talk to you. And if it's a case we can help out, we will definitely try to do that. If you find this information useful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. That's the way YouTube's algorithms work. We're trying to increase our reach with this YouTube channel to try to give people as much information as possible. And hopefully they get connected with good attorneys like us. But hopefully you found this useful. Wish you guys the best. It's December 17th, so we're coming up on Christmas and the holidays, Hanukkah for you to celebrate. Wishing everybody happy holidays. Be safe and take care. Thanks. Bye, guys.